Hey folks, Green Stuff Gav here. So we've come to the end of the year, and as per last year, I thought we'd do a little overview, what's going on, where we're at, what the channels are, current projects. So I'd like to start by thanking everyone that's liked and commented on the videos. Scott and Monster Merchant. We'll go more into what's going on with the channel, and we'll follow up with where I am as well. But first of all, thought we'd start here. We'd go, but just by again, hope it's been a great year for everyone, and we'll go over the current projects, what's going on, and then we'll follow up with the channel and where I'm at. So let's go have a look at some toy soldiers first. So here's where we are at the moment. We can see we're about halfway there, and we've got just over half a company. So from the command section, we can see the Ancient with his banner, the Apothecary and the Tech Marine are done, along with Mephiston and one of the chaplains. We've got another chaplain to paint strip back, rebuild, and the captain to rebuild, and a librarian to paint. Now, onto the core. Troops choices for the army. We got 3 10-man tactical squads, as we saw them paint back. Now, I've tried doing transfers, and they just haven't worked because the old transfers don't like microsol. So I'm going to have to take them off and do them again. We can see we got 3 squads of 10, all painted, all waiting back banners, and they've got 3 rhinos. We've got the Death Company, who want a video because they'll be stripped and rebuilt, and a Devastator squad, also with their rhino each. 10-man assault squad's nearly done. We did one of these as part of the Advent challenge, which was nice. And then the bike squad, slightly contentious. In 2nd edition, you can only take a 5-man bike squad, which when you consider you got 2 on the attack bike and 2 on the land speeder, still only gives you a 9-man squad. So I did an extra bike, technically illegal, but it does make it nice 10-man for the numbers. Got our sorry looking Bald Predator. 2 5-man scout squads who are not technically part of the company, but they're also joined by a Terminator squad who are also not technically part of the company. But these guys are new in box, so they're going to be fun. We got our Dreadnought who wants paint stripping back. I need 3 more tactical squads and 1 more Devastator squad, and that's a full company of Space Marines. This is the Chaos Army I'm working on for Warhammer the Old World. As we can see, it's quite a large Chaos Army. However, it is 3 distinct forces. So first of all, we've got the Khorne-themed Chaos Warrior list, where we can see we've got your classic Knights, Forsaken, Lord on Demonic Mount, converted from the Karakadak, the Old Lord becoming a Battle Standard Bearer, Chosen using the Age of Sigmar Khorne blood dudes, classic warriors. Of note, in the warriors, we've got the original monopost plastic, the multi-part plastic, the previous, which is now the Old World ones, and then the Age of Sigmar ones. So that's all the additions. We've got Marauders. The Juggernauts I was hoping to run as Chosen Knights, but they just don't fit on 30mm bases, so they're probably going to be Dragon Ogres. I just need to play test, which is why they're kind of slapdash on the basing. Of note, however, is the paint scheme. So I've gone for white and brass, or goldish brass, with a splatter of blood on the Khorne guys. Now I'll be using this paint scheme for all the Chaos Warrior guys. So they're all going to be in white, but detailing will be different. So all the Nurgle guys will be mostly grime and grease. Then hopefully if I can find the Slaanesh army all in gloss, and the Tzeentch will hopefully have a colour shift. But so on top of the Khorne contingent, we've got some Undivided. Now, I've 3D printed a Marauder-esque guy on a dragon. This is from Artisan Guild. And we've got classic Archeon on his demonic mount. I've converted Kagra from Kagra's Ravagers for Underworld into the Chainmaker. Now I need to bulk this army out a bit more. But you see we've got Chaos Hounds, the new Marauder Huskarls, Marauder Horsemen, and a Warpfire Dragon from Archeon Studio, the Dungeons and Lasers guys. Just thought it was really cool. I might paint the front of this guy just so that it looks like he's coalescing, but I'm not entirely sure yet. And another Artisan Guild dragon. Finally, we've got the Nurgle contingent. So Chaos Lord on Karakadak. I'd like to get a couple more, one to do a Tzeentch and one to do a Slaanesh, because I've kind of modelled this guy, converted him more to be more Nurgle, with the torso swap and the weapon swaps. And all the units are in multiples of 7 for Nurgle, so 7 Chaos Hounds. I'm using the Blight Lords as chosen. I just got a few more to assemble. Chaos Warriors have a slew of Nurgle bits thrown in there. And then Marauders, I'm actually converting from the Khorne guys. So we can see on the champion here, he's got a scythe and a Nurgle head. I'm going through and cutting off all the Khorne iconography, and just to make them more generic Marauders. So where the Khorne icons come off, he's got a little sporran. I'm cutting off the weapons and filling all the gaps, just to make it more generic than the actual dedicated Khorne guys. Got a 3D printed Spawn, which is just a collection of hands, which is suitably gruesome. And then we can see here, so I have the Blight Riders. I've tried to put them on 30mm bases and they just don't rank, even without the wings. So they might become Dragon Ogres as well. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, not a bad force. Here we've got the Lamenters army, notably quite shorter than they were the last time. As the Blood Angels had a new codex recently, it basically rendered the whole army legends. You can't take Librarian Dreadnoughts, Death Company, and now the Brutalis. So these guys are going to be reshunted into just standard Space Marines, I think. We can see the Lamenters Dreadnought, who got a lot of traction online with the big wheeled version based off Fallout Sentry Bots. And I followed it up with a pair of Brutalis Dreadnoughts. Now Reddit had some good suggestions, so we'll see here I've reduced down the bolt guns, if it'll focus, and given them little vents. Because yeah, the bolt guns do stand out a bit, even though I've trimmed the barrels off. We've got an Invictor, who I'm probably going to make into a Tech Marine, so give it more tech gubbins in the middle, remove that pilot. You see we've got his bikes for his legs, and we got the Brutalis in the Combat Patrol, so we've got some legs for him as well. So he will be a Death Company. And I need to get a Primaris Tech Marine to replace this guy. Yeah. I also need to keep an eye out to get some more bikes and more of the Dreadnoughts. the Primaris Dreadnoughts. So I'm going to be scouring the eBays at some point. And finally, as a project is we don't see enough of, but I don't have enough movement of, with my 3D printer being ropey, is the Chibi project. So what started off last year as all of the combat patrols in Chibi form, printed from Marchen Miniatures' range. We've got the Eldar, the Orcs, the Sisters, the Mechanicus, and then we did some Guard. I started painting the Mechanicus, and I pick them up every now and then. But the main focus was a Chibi Guard force. Now, it's been shuffled about for various editions, but this is as it stands for 10th. Is where we've got a whole load of the Cadians, and I've been working through the Krieg. We see one is missing because she was part of the Advent challenge. We've got the Ratlins, the Ogrins, the Rough Riders, and some tanks. If I could 3D print with more reliability, we'd have a guard platoon there. But as we can see, I tend to get a lot of failures and a few tanks. Now the Basilisk here is going to be replaced because there's an actual model for it now. And I need to paint some of the the Hellhounds. And we got a Cotiers, my Lord Solar, and Worm. And Creed, 2 engineers, a Commissar, a Preacher. Yeah. Really, really enjoyable models. So anytime I'm at a loss as to what work on, I'll tend to paint some of these because they're just really, really fun and quite easy to paint. Yeah, so I thought I'd show you those guys as well. Okay, so we might have seen the channel's been slightly quiet as of late. We don't really get a lot of views. We don't get a lot of likes. As noted earlier, I really appreciate the comments. It always gives me more of an incentive to produce content. So if you want to see more, then always stick likes on, stick comments. I'm terrible at asking for it, but it is really appreciated. And obviously the more likes, the more you like. If you like something, stick a comment on it. If you want to see other stuff, certainly stick a comment on this video or any ones that are relevant, or just in general. I do get the notification. I do try to reply. I do appreciate when people do take the time. On a similar note, so from a personal view, we've moved. We're all settled in. There's a couple of bits in the new place I'd like to do, and we'll do a tour once I've got everything up together. Same with the games room. I've got a couple more things I'd like to do, just to get it more into a state where I can show it off to you guys. And when that's done, I will certainly have a video of just where everything is and where, when everything's a bit more able to be displayed. A few empty boxes and a few things to tidy up. Result for that is I'm now working. I've been in my new job for just over a year. It's done wonders for my health. I've gone from a physical job to more of an office based. So as a result, I'm starting to put a bit of weight on, which I don't like, but hopefully I'll tackle that soon. But it's to be in an environment with, for an employer that, it's really, nothing's too much trouble, which is nice. And I work with a bunch of more of the geek style mindset. So we got a lot of gamers, which is always good because, can always chat about what's going on. Being in my own place means that the crazy amount of money that I put into just cost of living is actually going towards myself and my future rather than just throwing it away into the void. And that's done a lot for my health, my mindset. And a young lady is involved, which is always good. Spend some time, which is reciprocated, which is appreciated. So all in all, I think, especially considering where we were not last year but the year before, things have been definitely on the up, definitely on the climb, which I'm pleased about. Is as with always, there's always some things that need changing. Like I say, mainly now it's getting my health under control, getting it, now that it's stable, getting it improved, which I am grateful for. The YouTube has taken a hit because mainly, like as noted, we don't get the views or the likes that to warrant the amount of effort it takes to edit videos, to do voiceovers. It does take a lot of time. Effectively, I've got to paint the mini. For example, I've got to paint the mini, edit the video back to cut out a lot of the time, and then I've got to watch it again and do the voiceover, and then edit the voiceover onto the video and upload the video. So, they're 10-minute videos, but they do take like a few hours to produce. Which is why, like I say, I'm really grateful. Those that do comment regularly, I don't know if they get shared, it doesn't tell me. But I do really appreciate you taking the time. And even this video, if you've watched this far, it does mean a lot to me. And I thank you for your time. Hopefully 2025 will be great for you and things go on and up. But all in all, it does mean a lot to me, and I just hope that you have fun.